So you just had a standard week this week, just recording, editing, calls,
Pretty much.
the usual stuff.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. How about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Um,
Yeah.
I've been a bit busy this week just because I'm gonna relaunch the course in I think at the end of March. So I've been recording some new content for that. So I
Nice.
just need to decide like what parts, like what new stuff I want to record because the last one, like I filmed it in like 2022, I think is when it came out. So obviously everything's just changed since then. So I need like some new modules. I just need to go through it and see if I need to like take anything out or redo certain parts. So yeah, just going through that at the moment.
Yeah. That's good, man. Yeah, it's crazy how quick, like when you say 2022, it doesn't even sound like that long ago, but
I
you're
know.
right. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
how much changes in like just a
Yeah.
few years, man. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Everything from like the sound selection to the overall like vibe of the beat, the sonics, the mixing, it's like everything just shifts a bit, doesn't it?
Mm.
And the new
Yeah,
stuff you're going
literally.
to show.
Well, because it was the drill production course, I'm still kind of deciding. I've recorded a few new parts, like I've done a sexy drill part, and I've also done like a chill drill slash like hood trap part. You know, kind of what those type of beats that like Gliz would spit over, just sort of like mellow drill with like that hood trap bounce. It's all kind of like muddled up now. It's like you don't know if it's drill, if it's hood trap, if it's something else. It's like there's so many
Yeah.
different things. So I just put up a poll. I'll put up a question on Instagram, and most people were asking for like hood trap, sexy drill, Afro drill. So I need to do an Afro drill section, and then maybe one more part. Um,
Mm.
because yeah, or I don't know. I thought about either doing that or just covering like a lot of genres in one and making it more, I guess, just more like open to anything rather than just styles of drill. But then I also have like mini courses for other genres, so yeah, I'm just figuring out whether to keep it more like drill and hood trap sound for this one, and then keep the mini courses separate, or whether to like merge everything into one.
Got you.
Not quite sure yet.
Mm-hmm. Right
What do
now.
you think would work best?
Because your course is very drill, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like just niche, maybe just going like all in and all different styles of drill would work sick. Because then
Yeah,
there's nothing like it.
true. And there's
Like
so
Afro
much.
Mm.
drill, like you said, Afro drill, sexy drill, jerk drill, all this kind of stuff. If you have that like
Yeah.
all in one place,
Mm-hmm.
then really and truly, you are the number one guy for that.
And
Like
there's more
everyone
than
has to
enough
go
in
through
there.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe you can do another course which has extras like all the other genres you do, like boom bap and
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's all in the same platform. Like I use that Cactus Creators Club platform, so obviously
What
people
platform do
who
you use for that?
Circle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I use Circle for the Creators Club, but then I also put my courses in there as well. So if someone
Mm.
gets a course, they'll see the spaces for the Creators Club, but they just don't have access to it. Because then they might be thinking, oh, what's this? What's this? What are these private channels?
Yeah,
So I just wanted to bring everything together because it was getting a bit messy before.
Mm.
got
So they
you.
might like if someone joins the drill course, they might see like the boom bap one and the trap one and things like that in there anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah. How was like the main drill one laid out? Like, what was the structure? Is it like chord? Is it like broken up into like chords and then sound selection and like all separate like classes, or is it like sort of like longer lessons where it's kind of covering a lot of
Yeah,
topics?
it's all broken up and there's a lot of content in there really. So I go through everything. So just starting with the basics, like understanding scales and chord progressions, just everything for the beginners. There's a section in there that covers all mixing elements, like talking about what a compressor is, reverb, just just covering the fundamentals. And then we go into I think there's three different styles of drill because at the time it was like orchestral drill, melodic drill, and sample drill. So they're the three main sections. And then there's another section for like vocal mixing, but like my process for
Mm.
that's changed as well. So that might need to be updated. So yeah,
Yeah.
it basically just covers everything from like start to finish, and then
Mhm.
with some like bonus segments. So I guess this will be more like just bringing people up to date with like the modern styles of drill.
Hmm.
Merging it with like hood trap, like you said, ocean jerk drill, like chill drill. It's just so many,
Mm.
so many
Yeah, there's
different
so
Yeah.
ones.
many that you can do within that.
Yeah,
Yeah. that's a good thing as well, I guess, for you, because now you can just keep expanding because there's like say there's constantly
Yeah.
evolving and there's always new subgenres of drill to come out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so I can
it's a good
keep
thing.
adding to it.
Yeah,
I don't know about you guys though, but sometimes when you get a course and there's too much content in there, it gets a bit overwhelming because it's like, man, I don't even know where to start in this.
yeah,
So I don't know if it'll be overwhelming for people to have so much footage in there, but maybe it's just the way I
yeah,
promote it. It can be like, I don't know, just kind of telling people that you don't have to watch like every single video. Like if you want to learn jerk drill, you go to that section, maybe start with this section, just
Yeah.
tell
yeah.
people like how to work around it.
It might be worth throwing in like a video, maybe like a orientation section where you just say like this is you kind of just take like show people like what the course looks
Yeah.
like, and then you can be like, right, if you're this level, if you're at this level, start here, and
Hmm.
then I guess just kind of like guide people through it a
Yeah.
certain way, like depending on what they need.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
So I think that makes sense to do it like that. Because if I
Yeah,
start bringing in all the other genres, it's just gonna get a bit too overwhelming.
yeah,
Yeah, there would be a lot.
Yeah. And I have already
yeah,
done mini courses for some other genres, so they're there if people need them. It could even be
Mm.
yeah,
like a little upsell or something.
yeah, for sure. It's probably just a long term play, and it just slowly building out modules sort of over time, and then
Yeah.
before you know it, it's like this huge
Hmm.
platform, and then the producers can just get everything in one place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
I've recorded some segments. I need to record some more. I think when I did the course last time, I edited everything myself, and it took forever. So I don't think I'm gonna do that this time.
yeah. It's like editing like a normal YouTube video, but it's like 10 hours worth of
Yeah,
worth of
yeah, it was
stuff you need to
crazy.
put on there.
I
Yeah.
spent so much time on it, but it performed really well. I think it dropped
Mm.
at a good time last time, so I'll be
Mm.
When
interested
did
to
you
see.
drop the first time?
I think it was like March 2022. I'd have to double check that.
Hmm.
But that was like my top selling thing by far.
Oh, sick.
Mm.
But obviously I did put a lot into it, and there was like brand new kits that it came with. There was just loads of stuff involved. But this time
Hmm.
around, the updates will be free for people that already have the course. So it's not like it's going to be the same type of effect when I drop this one because it's not brand new to everyone. But
Hmm.
Mm.
there's still a lot of people that have joined, like subscribed to the channel since then. So people might not know about it. So be interested to see.
Yeah. I feel like a lot
Wait,
has changed in the music, so it'd make it worth it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, of
yeah,
course.
definitely.
Because maybe some people have thought about joining it, but then hesitated because it was made back then. But then if
Hmm.
it's sort of revamped with modern sounds and everything, it would make more sense for people. So yeah, just have a busy next month or so. But hopefully it'll be ready by the end of March.
With the content, do you script it like script, or is it like talk like you have your bullet points of subjects you need to hit, and then you kind of just riff off of that? Like what's the kind of
Yeah, it's
structure you go
just
with it?
like that. I don't really script it. It's like my YouTube videos. Like I might script an intro if I need to, but
Yeah.
when it's a course, I'll probably script like the first video, maybe like how to use the course or just something like that, some sort of introduction. But then I just write down the things I need to cover. So I get feedback from people, like everyone's asked for like sexy drill, for example. So I'll just break it down, like what do I need to cover? So obviously, it's usually melodies, drums, bass, percussion, effects. I just break it down into parts like that. And because I've got like a whole segment on mixing, like covering the individual things like compressors and saturators and side chaining, I don't feel like I need to go through that in every single video. So it can just be like making a beat from start to finish. And then I'll like mention it throughout the course. Like I might like show some extra stuff, but then say if you want to like dive a bit deeper, then go to this section of the course and you'll find like 3 different ways to sidechain or something like that.
Yeah, I guess once you go into these subgenres, you've got like the bulk of the content where it's like the learning stuff where it's like
Yeah.
you've got all like the technical stuff, and then when it comes to the subgenres, you can just reference, okay, we're doing the side chaining technique that we learned during this part, and then
Yeah.
all those little things that you feel like you should include, you can just reference them instead of having to repeat yourself constantly. So
Yeah. The good thing about
yeah,
courses is you can just like waffle a bit because I I guess I really want people to like understand like my thought process as well, because sometimes you watch a video and someone's cooking up and you're like, why has he put that note there? Like, why has he done this? So I really try and like explain everything. Like, I'm doing this. This is why I'm thinking this, and I'm gonna try like not really edit it. So even if I'm spending like half an hour, like I spent like 40 minutes making a melody yesterday. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it like that because people might want to see the mistakes I make and then how I change my mind and swap out certain things, because that's the stuff you don't see on YouTube.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I had that with like the mentorship guys. I did one with last week with a guy, and he wanted to like, he's like, oh, can we just make a beat real quick? You know, like start an idea, like an R&B thing. I was like, yeah, sure. You know, just kind of, I was like, I can kind of just explain what I'm doing. And I like, you know, like what decisions I'm making. He's like, yeah, like I need that because I don't, you just like I say, you don't get that anywhere, like not on YouTube especially, because you kind of edit in for the algorithm. But
like people watch your YouTube videos and they think you just instantly have all these decisions. It's like he just does it so quick, and it's like it's because we chopped it down. Like in reality, we make
like
a few
4 hours
mistakes.
of content. Chopped to 10 minutes. Yeah. But,
how's the mentorship going?
Yeah, it's going well. I've got one guy has had to take a little break, just personal reasons.
Yeah.
He did tell me, but I thought I don't want to put it out there for him.
Gotcha.
And then all the other 5 guys are doing well. Done about 3 or 4 calls per person now, and they've done a bunch of remakes, and I'm actually surprised at how quickly they got better at doing the remakes. Like the first.
Oh really?
The first like one they sent back, it was like all right, but mix was like super off, and the sound selection was kind of off. And then, like 2 or 3 remakes in, and they're already sounding like way better. Because like after the first remake, I'm like, okay, right, this is the kick's not hitting. Like, what's on your master? I'll look at the project, and then we'll just tweak everything, and then they'll take that into the next remake, and then there might be only a few things left to tweak, and then by the 3rd or 4th one, it's like insane, like a lot better. I'm like, damn, I wish I had something. You know, I wish I was doing this a while back. I was just cranking out shit beat after shit beat. But, it's going well though, man. Thanks.
Nice. I know you're getting really good feedback from everyone.
Yeah,
People
I am.
finding it valuable.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember to ask like at the end of every session, just like how are you feeling with this? You know, with these calls, like you know, is this kind of what you were looking for? And yeah, it's been pretty much it's been all positive. So.
Nice.
I'm happy and they're happy, so yeah, it's good.
I feel like having a mentor just in general is so worth it. I don't feel like I really had one when I first started.
Yeah.
Like you can have like different forms of mentors, I guess. You can have someone that you're actually like paying and you're spending time with, or you can just have someone that you're following and like you read their content, you read their books.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have like, I think it used to be Russell Brunson because I read a lot of his books like .com Secrets and things like that. Although I wasn't using ClickFunnels. I don't know if you've read his books, but everything was based around ClickFunnels. They are good, aren't they? So I guess he was like my mentor in a way, but I wasn't even using his system ClickFunnels, but I still found his information really useful.
Yeah.
Who do you think's been yours?
Musically or just in general?
Pick a music one and a business one.
Music. That's a tough one.
I don't think there's been like one person where I've just really studied that sound. I've always just like listened to different beats and tried to take bits from everyone.
Yeah, and I don't know. Music one might be hard for me to answer. I'm not too sure, you know.
Yeah.
I think with music, it's just like you listen to other producers, don't you, like Metro, like Wheezy, and like drill producers. So you listen to them, you just try and copy, but you know that's where you get your ideas from. They haven't really given any information. You're just trying to pick it apart yourself.
I think there's a lot of that, like referencing guys.
Yeah, 100%.
And trying to emulate, but in your own way. But
yeah. For drill, I used to always watch like M1 on the beat. He had like one video back in the day. I don't know if you ever saw it.
Against the Clock kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was before that. It was that Against the Clock one, but I think it was might have been with like DJ Mag or just one of those companies. I can't remember who it was, but this was like years ago. And he sat at some desk with like no space.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. So that was one that like inspired me. And then MK on the Plug had one as well. Like those two were sick. Those two were like the pioneers of the, I guess like the UK drill sound. I wonder who made that first like UK drill pattern where it's like
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Can't tell.
Well, Carntel was like the pioneer of drill, but I think because his stuff was like with 6/7, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that it kind of reminded me of like the Chief Keef style, you know, like sort of road rap. But I don't know actually. It might have been him. It might have been him.
Yeah. Did it start in the UK or is it? Because there's always like debate in there, but you probably know, Jay. Eh?
I think I'm pretty sure it was
Chicago or
It was
something.
a Chicago thing.
Yeah.
Drill was, yeah, but not the. I don't think it was that
okay.
pattern. Because if you listen to the
Really?
old Chief Keef beats, it's more of a two-step.
Right.
It was just the
The snare
yeah.
that
Like,
came in on that.
I think so. Like, 'cause it comes on like the third and the four, doesn't it?
There definitely was a time where the pattern started to get more intricate. Because when you listen to the old drill beats, like the really old ones, the 808 is like really boomy and
Yeah.
the hi-hats are really thin. But
Yeah,
then someone switched it to counter snares.
yeah.
Yeah.
Started getting a bit
And then
thicker.
it got really intricate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe 808 Mellow. Because he started getting intricate with the counters and the
True.
hi-hats.
Definitely one of the pioneers. It's got to be like him, M1 on the beat, and MK the plug, maybe. I want to say it's like those three, and obviously Can't Hill.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the
Yeah.
OGs.
Yeah, man.
It'd be interesting to find out.
difference from trap because it's like trap vibes, but I remember just our first few sessions, it's like spending like normally I'd spend about 3 minutes on the hi hat, whereas we spend about 10 minutes on the bounce
Yeah.
on the counter snares and stuff.
Yeah,
The
it's
very
long.
first time I made a drill beat, I remember it was like January 2019. And it took me about 3 hours because I was really trying to get it.
Yeah.
Really trying to understand what was happening.
Yeah.
I was trying to copy the pattern, and when I listened back to like some of my first drill beats, I was just so off with the pattern. I didn't figure out the simple, just like skip two steps. It was just like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just like trying to make a bouncy hat pattern, but it just makes no sense.
And then now it's like you literally just know you put 1, 2, 3 down in the same every
exactly.
single time.
Yeah. It's mad.
That's funny.
I was just
That's
gonna
the thing.
go on. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say in the beginning, you just don't know what you don't know until you figure it
Yeah.
out, and then like that's the foundation. Now you're good.
Yeah. It's like everything has a formula in a way. Some sort of formula. Obviously it's not like so rigid like that, but everything has some sort of baseline formula.
Yeah,
Like if you're
you
trying to
gotta
learn
the
like
rule to break it.
Yeah. You start off with the rule, like a certain chord progression for like drill or trap, and then you already know that's the foundation, and you just fuck with it and flip it, reverse. Do you get creative with it then? But a lot of people start off like we've done it as well. You start off thinking I'm going to be creative, not knowing the rules, and then it just sounds like shit from the rip. But yeah, no, I get that. I was going to just go back to the business mentor stuff. The ClickFunnels stuff. That was like eye-opening, reading it for the first time. But like, if you, did you not? I don't know if you felt this way, but over time, because you're building up funnels and you always want to make it like one step better every time. You want to try new things and stuff. The whole ClickFunnels thing and like the lead magnets and then upselling and all that stuff, that becomes like a rabbit hole in itself. And I swear, like after like a couple of years of doing it, I almost just lost sight of what I was even promoting. I was more focused on just how everything looked and how cool it was, like the journey taking people through. And I was like, shit, I'm not even making it. I need to put out like an actual good product to make sure it's.
That's the thing. It's like at the end of the day, you do need a really solid product.
Yeah,
because I think things have changed like over the past like few years as well. Because can you remember that period where everyone was just focused on like a funnel, and it was like you start people at the top and they trickle down the funnel. But now it's like people come out of the funnel for a little bit, they jump back in at some points. It's like don't feel as like simple anymore. I don't know, it's weird to explain.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Back in the days, you could get away with having an ugly funnel as well.
Yeah,
the design didn't even have to be good.
I never actually used ClickFunnels though. I think because I was growing an e-commerce store, I thought it would be too messy. I think if you had like one service or like one certain product that you were pushing.
For like a streamlined kind of flow. It's not really good if you want to have multiple different products for choice. I used to use ClickFunnels heavy back in the day,
Did
even
you?
before music, and it was really, really good, to be honest. Super easy to customize. I feel like
Yeah.
Shopify, now that you've got gem pages and stuff like that, it's easier.
Yeah.
But without that, I wouldn't know where to start with Shopify in
Yeah.
terms of the
So
themes and
rigid.
stuff.
You can't really you can customize, but not that much.
With the
Whereas
default
like
templates, definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, ClickFunnels is basically exactly the same as gem pages. Really
Just drag
easy
and
to build
drop.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Get it exactly how you want it.
So did you have a business mentor, like someone who you studied?
Studied so many, man. So many. A lot
Yeah.
of Facebook ads guys in the beginning.
A lot of who?
Facebook ads guys.
Oh, okay. Right.
There used to be a guy called Billy Jean as marketing.
Billy Jean,
Billie
remember
Jean.
that guy? Used to get his
Oh,
ads
you
all
know
the
him?
time.
No, I was just thinking
Yeah.
of the Michael Jackson song in it.
Oh, yeah. Billy Jean was good.
Yeah.
There was a guy called Dan Henry, Facebook ads. I think who else I was locked in with. Those are the main two I can think of.
Yeah.
Gonna ask Ocean, have you moved across yet? I saw the picture that you posted the other day.
Oh, yeah.
looks
Yeah.
New
huge.
spot.
Yeah, I'm in the house now.
Is it
But
nice, yeah?
it's super nice. I haven't set up anything. That's why I'm just like headphones, straight laptop.
Yeah.
Might take me a little while.
What
gonna
rings
say,
you got
you-
on,
you-
man? Just clocked your rings. This guy's coming
Biggest
blinging
thing.
today.
Mr. T.
Yeah.
Not trying to get punched by Ocean.
I know, yeah.
Get the star
Lauren-
imprint on your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
gonna say
we're locked in now.
Nice. I was gonna say the studio's gonna look bare now because you got like a room that's about 4 times bigger than like
Oh,
the other
man.
rooms. It's gonna be like completely empty.
Yeah, I need to fill it with stuff.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
so
have to
long
get some
unpacking
hardware.
and like packing, like unpacking the studio, isn't
It's
it?
so long, and I've done it too many times now. Where
Yeah.
it's not fun anymore.
It's not fun.
It's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
So-
That was a service. Like I'm sure there's a service somewhere where you could just hire someone who knows exactly how to like just
Like root
deal with all the
everything and that.
cables. Yeah, just like right, just come and unplug it and plug
Yeah.
it back in. There must be
Yeah.
someone somewhere.
Yeah.
I definitely wanna. So I'm gonna get it all soundproofed. Probably like next week or the week after, hopefully,
Sick.
because it's really echoey right now.
Yeah.
Too much echo. And then I would like to get a bigger studio desk, but we'll see. Because if I order it, then it might take too long to come.
Right.
Mm.
Get that flexi spot special.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you get like a proper studio desk instead of just like a normal
I want to.
desk? Yeah.
I want to get a proper studio desk this time and like rack my mounts properly. Obviously.
Yeah. Because you had the one in Cock Fosters was quite nice. 'Cause it just had a good amount of
Yeah,
space on it.
that was super nice. That wasn't mine though. That was the studio's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you hit up some companies though, you could sort something out.
Yes, sir. If there's any listening, you know where to
Yeah.
find me.
I'm pretty sure Lollipop did a sponsor for one that wasn't Flexi Spot. It was
Oh yeah, she did.
yeah, like a company that did desks, but they also did studio desks as well.
Mhm.
I can't I have to watch. Yeah, I have to ask. You have to drop her a message, but might be worth hitting those guys up.
Mm.
FlexiSpot
Sure.
actually have a standing studio desk now. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I did
Well,
see
like
that one.
specifically for the music studio.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a music studio desk, but one that stands. It's just only available in one color though. I think that was the thing that put me off.
Yeah,
But if that fits the vibe of the room, I wanted a black desk, so I just didn't have the option. But it looks pretty good though.
Let me take a look. I haven't seen. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I see it.
I do like the
It's
option to
cool.
stand. I can't lie, it does help. I don't stand as much as I should, but every now and again I'm like, all right, let me stand up for 20 minutes.
The one I had in Cockfosters, I would love to get something like that, where it kind of curves a little bit. Just a tiny
yeah, it kind of like hugs you a little bit.
bit. Mm.
Yeah, that's a nice. It's a good vibe because you can, even if like you've got people over, they can just put their laptop to the side, and it's just like out of the way.
Yeah,
Still,
it's
you've got
true.
space to
Just
work.
everyone's got space.
Yeah. These first world problems, eh?
I know, man.
Yeah. But, did you see? I saw this fitness YouTuber. You'll know who he is. I can't remember his name, but he went round and rated everyone's home gyms, like celebrities' home gyms.
Oh
And
yeah,
the first
Jesse
guy.
James West.
Yeah, the
I
first
saw this
guy he
video.
did was Steve Aoki,
And I
and
haven't
bro,
seen it.
his house was ridiculous. It was in Vegas, and it was like he had a dive pool, like literally, he had like a balcony that that was literally there, so you run off and jump and land in this like 16-foot deep pool, and then there was like an underground gym that had like a trampoline in there, a foam pit,
What the
and all
hell?
this random shit, and then they had like a gym upstairs that had like those, what do you call those, like tubes that you put your body in? It's like a hydra, whatever you call it,
Oh,
therapy thing.
okay, yeah. I think he does some work
Um,
with Gary Brecker, doesn't he?
yeah, yeah.
So maybe you
Um,
put him onto that.
That's
and
crazy
yeah,
to have like a trampoline in your. I need to go and watch that video. That's
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
really
same.
good. It's really good. He's got, they showed the studio briefly, and the studio looked insane. But
Steve
yeah,
Aoki's an animal though, man. Like this guy, have you ever looked at how many shows he does every year? Have you ever heard him
Yeah,
on a podcast talking?
he does a ton of shows.
Let
I
me
remember
just
him
search
saying
it.
that he done 3 shows in a day, but on different continents.
oh my
So
god,
he just kept on flying west.
So it says he typically plays between 200 and 300 shows a year.
that's
That means he's
insane.
just never home.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm not surprised he wants like the best experience ever when he goes back home.
That
yeah.
he
Imagine
probably
just
He,
traveling
hardly gets
that
to
much.
use.
he
Exactly.
explained it as it being basically a man cave, but in like a mansion-sized house. Like the entire thing's just a massive man cave.
That's
But he
crazy.
did, honestly, man, you have to watch it. It's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, it is insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch
definitely
that.
have a watch. Yeah. What's new in the producer space? Not really been tuned into a lot of stuff recently.
Production space. Man, I don't know if I've spotted anything like crazy new. Like we're saying, this the sound's like still shifting. Still feels like there's no certain sound that's sticking. I feel like there's not one thing now that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
very small. I feel like it's got quite niche down at the moment. When I look on TikTok,
Yeah,
there's many like smaller independent artists that have their own sound, but it all sounds really good. But it's
yeah,
just it's still small. It's still like underground, if that makes sense. It's still quite small.
yeah, of course. We have like
Yeah.
small like underground stuff in the UK, certain
There's a
bouncers that
lot
are
of
popping
like
up.
good underground artists in the UK right now that I
Yeah,
keep
a
seeing
lot,
on
man.
TikTok.
Yeah.
No, what I
I'm
realized like
wondering
when
why
I
they're not getting the views and the reach. Because I feel like if this was 5 years ago, they would all
True.
be way more popping.
Yeah.
yeah,
I hear
maybe.
that.
Look how big the scene was like 5 years ago, how many people there was. Now it doesn't really seem like that. It's like Cinch above everybody else.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got
Like
number
one
one,
top
hasn't he?
spot. Yeah, what not number one in like 9 countries or something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
It's so
insane.
sick. A lot of the
Eight and
guys are
Harry
on there
Beach,
as well, like Jester Beats produced some
Yeah.
stuff on there.
8 and Harry
R14.
Beach.
Oh yeah, 8 and Harry Beach. But there's quite a few people on there. It's
Yeah.
good to see, when you go through your timeline and it's like people like posting like stuff's gone
It
number
is,
one.
man. Yeah, it really
It's
is.
like close to home. It makes you think, all right, yeah, our name could be on a project like
On
that
the-
at some point.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at one point in your life, you just thought that stuff was like impossible to reach.
Now it's
But
like
when you see it,
it's
does it
all
make you
just one
think,
connection
you know
away.
what, it's actually achievable? Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
one collab away.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, definitely.
It just comes. I think that just comes from sessions, isn't it? We always say how important doing sessions is. It's like as soon as you get out doing sessions, it's amazing how quickly
Yeah.
you can meet the right people, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
But also, I do feel like 8 is just relentless. His
he
work
is, man.
flow is good. Like he's hitting up these. From what I remember when he was working with DBE, he was just. I think we might have talked about this on the
Yeah,
pod. I can't remember, but he
sure.
was just sending beats like non-stop, just texting
Yeah.
to them.
yeah. He said
Non-stop.
ads. He had ads his number, and I did a session with him once that Ez hook like arranged, and then we were just chatting about DB, and he was like, "Yeah, like any guitar stuff, like just send them to me, and I'll finish him off. I've got his number. I'm just spamming him with beats every day. Like, I'm like, how many are you sending him a day? He's like, just as many as I make, like 3, 4, sometimes 5. Like, he's just cranking these out.
Yeah.
No wonder why he's getting so many like placements with them. It's not an accident. It's like
Yeah, of
for
course.
every 100 he sends, that's a placement. It's like insane amount of work ethic.
And
Yeah.
now it's gonna. I feel like he's gonna go even crazier now because he's got DBE under his
Yeah.
belt, Central C under his
Cinch.
belt.
Yeah.
There's not like he's conquered the UK. It's
That's
US
when people are
next.
just hitting you up constantly.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
bet in
it's
his
gonna-
DMs right now.
It's gonna be like that.
Yeah, 100%. He's broke through that level now. Same with Harry as well. Like, he's putting in crazy work too. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be a sick feeling to achieve something like that.
Yeah, seeing it going #1 in like all these countries, like that's probably the ultimate. Yeah.
Do you know what we've missed? The Grammys. The Grammys was this week or last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, we didn't
yeah.
even talk about it, did we?
I saw a few clips from that. Like Kai Cenat was there meeting all like
Oh yeah.
Kanye and like, all
Man,
these crazy
Doechii.
artists.
I don't know if you guys were listening to Doechii before, but she's crazy, man. I was seeing her pop up everywhere. She's so
Same.
sick.
It was funny
Yeah.
to see all the memes of Taylor Swift
Oh yeah.
dancing.
Yeah.
And Kendrick
Wow.
Lamar winning the first. That's the first diss track to win a Grammy, isn't it?
And five
Yeah,
Grammys
it
on
went
that. That's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That'll go down
That's-
as the greatest diss track of all time.
100%.
It's so crazy because like, do you remember when Drake did this to Meek Mill? I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he got nominated for a Grammy
Did it?
on what was it? What was that diss track? Was it back to back?
I can't even remember
It
now.
was like 2016,
Yeah, I remember the period. I
and he
remember
had
it
a
happening.
huge diss track with Meek Mill, and I'm pretty sure that got nominated. If not, yeah, pretty sure it got nominated. But now it's like, yeah, it's unfortunate that now he's at like
He's
the
on the
bottom
end
of
there,
it.
innit?
But then with the Meek, oh, was it the Meek Mill one? Yeah, I was thinking of the Pusha T one. He's had beef with a few people then.
He's had beef with so many people, man. Then you have people like Ludacris, Common, Meek
That's what it's
Mill,
like at the top, I
Chris
guess, isn't it?
Brown,
Chris Brown as well, yeah.
um,
Future, Metro,
now Future. Who's the one that you just said as well?
Metro.
Pusha T.
Pusha T.
Yeah.
That he lost. He definitely lost that one.
Yeah, when you said he got nominated for the Grammy, I was thinking of the Pusha T beef, and then I was thinking, I swear, like he lost that beef, but I couldn't remember the Meat Mill one. I'll
I'm
have
just
to go back
looking
and
at
listen
Rick,
to that.
Rick Ross, ASAP Rocky
Oh
as
yeah,
well. No,
that is crazy because
Man.
on the come up, it's like everyone supports you. Everyone always wants the underdog to win, but then as soon as you're at the top or as soon as you're achieving something, people switch up really quick, don't they?
yeah. Flipping. I'm just looking through all the beefs now. Tory Lanez, he had beef with
Oh shit!
Joe Budden,
Yeah,
XXX Tentacion,
Oh,
Wasn't it
XXX,
the
yeah.
Weeknd at one point as well.
The
Didn't he
Weeknd,
just-
Kanye West.
Didn't he like straight up copy XXX Tentacion? Like
Did
X
it?
dropped a
Flow,
song. Like, yeah, can get my dick in my bed, and then he just completely
Yeah.
copied it on a
Oh
different beat.
shit! Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mad. Mad. I saw this thing
So
about
many
Drake,
beats.
and his ghostwriters and like how he'd scout new talent, sign them to OVO, and then basically just have them as writers as well as obviously artists. But then like all the best verses that the artists are writing, he'd use them, and then the artists just kind of like got the whatever's left over, to release under their own name.
Pretty much happened to Majid Jordan.
Oh yeah.
They gave
Oh,
him
did it?
Hold On, We're Going Home.
He did what?
Okay.
They gave him Hold On, We're Going Home. That massive hit.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of
It's
crazy.
tough signing to an artist sometimes. It doesn't always work because you're always
Yeah.
like. Luckily, like when you think about it, remember YMCB, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Young Money, Cash Money, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Drake, Nicki pretty much surpassed Lil
Lil
Wayne,
Wayne. Yeah.
but Lil Wayne was the big dog. But like most artist labels, you will never surpass the artist.
That you're underneath, yeah, that signed you.
Yeah, it's quite rare.
Yeah, it's kind of mad.
No one on OVO has really I'd say taken off.
I think it was The Weeknd that was the only anomaly. Like he chose not to sign with them. Like he got a deal from
Couple
Drake or
people.
something.
Bryson
Yeah,
Tiller didn't sign with him either.
and they managed to carve out a real good space for himself. Imagine if they had signed. Like you might not even hear of The Weeknd now. You might not even hear of
Yeah,
Bryson Tiller.
Yeah, it depends what you
Because
compare it to. Like, if you compare it to Drake's success, then anything feels like you're not quite there. But in his
Yeah.
But if
own
we-
world, he would have had a huge amount of success, really.
But if we look at the people who are signed to Drake, like I Love McConan, Party Next Door, Majid
Yeah.
Jordan, Roy Woods, and there's a few more. None of them have hit the heights that we thought they
No.
were going to hit, especially Party Next Door.
Yeah, maybe
Mm.
not. They had like certain periods where there was a lot of hype, but
Mm.
yeah, I know what you're saying. It didn't reach that like top level.
It must just get really tricky on the business end, like when you're writing and you're writing for yourself, and then Drake, like you're in a camp with Drake and stuff, and he's like, yeah, I need this verse. It's like, all right, yeah, take it. But obviously, you're gonna get credited. He's gonna get paid. Like it's fine. Like, financially, he's probably still fine, but you're not getting that career satisfaction that you might have been wanting when you thought you were signing with them. It's like what's his name, Mike? I took a pill in a beef guy, Mike Posner.
Posner.
I was not.
Posner. And he was like writing for
Oh, he
so
had a
many people
hit.
for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like before that song took off. Like he wrote so many songs for so many big artists that was for his own album. Like he was
Yeah,
going
he
to
wrote
release this
Justin
album.
Bieber's song, didn't he? Or
Yeah.
he wrote one song that he was going to release, but they didn't want it to be him. But then they gave it to
Yeah.
Justin Bieber. I can't
Yeah,
remember
that's
what
right.
song it was.
It was like
If
one
I
of
Was
his
Your
biggest
Boyfriend.
ones.
Yeah,
If I Was
that's
Your
right.
Boyfriend. And then he wrote one for Maroon 5 as well. One of their biggest, I think it's their biggest
Oh, yeah.
song, Maroon 5's. He wrote that, and that was for his unreleased album that the label were kind of like put into the side for now. And then just went through all this. Then he went to like that Avicii show after all this, like depressed, like nothing was
Yeah.
going. I mean, obviously he's probably good financially, but yeah, he wasn't where he wanted to be in the career. And then that's when the song came on. Like I took a pill in Ibiza. It's like
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's got a
'Cause
crazy
it-
story.
didn't the guy that gave him the pill, like he didn't even know who Mike was. He just was in the crowd, and then he was like, "Here's your
Something
pill."
like that.
Yeah,
He's
Just
like, why
really
not?
yeah. But, yeah, that
Yeah,
song's
I think
crazy.
writers can have a tough time in the industry, man, because they're like chasing a percentage of a percentage. Because a writer wouldn't get a percentage of a master recording; they just get part of the publishing,
Really?
Mm.
and then I'm pretty sure, yeah, or maybe a small. You don't, yeah, I'd say it's smaller publishing. Let me
Madness.
fact check
I
that.
feel like the writing is like such a big part of it, right? It's like,
It's very big. But also, you do need the artist to make it big too. So
Yeah.
I hear both sides.
yeah,
Yeah, so for master recording, obviously the rights are usually owned by the artist, the record label. The record label would have the majority of the master recording because that's what they make their investment for. And then the publishing is split between like the songwriter, composer.
Yeah. You
So
know what's
obviously
probably
like
worse for a
producers,
writer as well?
artists. Mm.
A lot of writers become writers on their way to being an artist. Like
Yeah.
they just do it to get money, but it's not actually what they want. They would rather be the artist. Not
Yeah.
everyone, but like a large majority, which is probably like I'm guessing probably kind of demoralizing sometimes, you know?
Maybe, yeah. Because it's like when you see people performing your song and it's like, these are my
I
words.
wrote that, and no one
It's
knows I
like,
wrote it. Really,
No one knows, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I don't think people fully know like what a writer is. Like not everyone's checking the credits. But
No.
I remember when the Drake beef was happening as well, everyone was checking Drake's writing credits and they were like, oh, Drake's got ghostwriters, but people didn't realize that a producer goes down as a writer as well because
yeah,
you've wrote music essentially. If you make anything that could be wrote in like sheet music, that's where it comes from. It's like you write the sheet music. So everyone was looking at like the producer names under the writing credits and be like, oh, he wrote this for Drake. It's like, nah, it don't
Yeah.
work like that.
but it's crazy because Drake can write. Like he wrote for Kanye, didn't he? Like he wrote some songs for Ye, and it's like it's just a normal thing, but people just think it's cheating in rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of big artists don't write. Like Rihanna doesn't really write her hits.
No, I remember a guy
But
wrote
she's just-
one of her biggest songs, Umbrella or something.
Yeah, the Dream's pen is crazy. He's written
Yeah.
written so many tracks. He's actually, I was going through his discography the other day. Crazy
Yeah,
guy.
Is
It's
the
fully
Dream
just
the guy that
accepted in
did?
pop, isn't it? But if you have like a
Yeah.
ghostwriter as a rapper,
hip-hop,
it's like
it's different,
you can't
yeah.
do that.
But
It's different.
you can't really have a ghostwriter as a rapper.
Nah.
If you're making a pop song, fair enough.
Or a hook. If someone's just
Or a
helping
hook,
you with a
but not
hook,
your
it's like
verse.
whatever. Nah.
Yeah,
Not
I
your
wonder if
verse, man.
T-Pain wrote all his own hooks, and if he wrote any hooks for the artists, because he was
He
like
was up there.
I think he's a good
killing
writer.
hooks
I think
for a long time.
I think I've seen some like clips from his streams where he's just kind of writing as he goes. So I know he's got it in him.
Mm.
Yeah, Yeah, I saw him recording like a quick hook on Instagram, popped up as like a
Yeah.
short, and yeah, he's like super quick with it, isn't he? Yeah, madness.
Did you see that Gotti died?
What? I didn't know that.
You didn't
That's
know?
crazy. Nah.
Because he had I don't know if you saw 50 posts. 50 is fucked, man. 50's on, you know what he's like? Because he had beef with Irv Gotti like years ago. You know, when he had beef with like Ja Rule and everything. And
Uh,
so Irv Gotti, I think 50 posted something like when Irv Gotti was ill or something like that. And then when he died, 50 posted himself like smoking shisha and put, I'm smoking on that Gotti pack or something like that.
oh shit.
He's
Oh my
relentless,
God.
man.
Oh, I've just seen a news article on 50 Cent's post. As soon as you said shisha, I just saw a picture of him smoking a shisha. That's so
I used
bad.
to listen to I've got the Drink Champs podcast sometimes. Kind of funny.
I haven't listened to that episode yet. I need to listen to that. I didn't know
What?
like the extent of their beef, but I was kind of trying to like read into it, and I think when 50 got stabbed, people were saying that had something to do with Irv Gotti, because obviously Irv had like Ja Rule in his label,
Hmm.
didn't he? And I think
Yeah.
well, those two had beef, like some shit happened, so people
Mm,
were like saying Irv tried to get 50 killed, and that's why he's just relentless with these posts. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it too much.
yeah.
But it's crazy though. He's only how old was he? Sorry,
54.
yeah,
54.
54. Yeah.
Yeah. Mental.
Yeah, he had
What
his
was he? Was
he
he
had
a
his run.
producer or like a DJ then? Or like a
He was
label
more
owner?
like an
What was...
executive producer.
Yeah, he ran
Right, right.
Murder
He was like
Inc.
the imagine like the PDD but for Murder Inc.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's just reminding me of something. I was scrolling this morning and I saw this clip of DJ Khaled recording over. It was one of the songs off of the God Did album, and he's just doing, his standard ad-libs. He's like, keep going.
Oh yeah.
And he's punching in his ad-libs, right? And he's just sat there in silence. You can hear the song a little bit through the headphones, like leaking out. And he's like, and then he just goes, keep going. And he goes, let me hear that. Like a rapper hears their verse. Like, let me hear that. And then he's like, yeah, put some echo on it, make it bright. I like my shit bright. And it's like, you've said 2 words, man. Acting like a massive artist or something. It's just drop
Ad-libs are the
bars.
funniest thing to hear when you're in a session
Yeah.
recording. The whole room's silent and then they just shouted random shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's like who was it? Have you seen that clip of E40 doing ad-libs?
Have I?
Do you,
I'm
do
not
you remember? Do you
sure.
remember? Do you remember E40? He was like a
Yeah.
West
Hmm.
Coast, kind of guy,
Yeah,
and
of
he's
course.
in the studio. He's got a glass of like liquor. He's smoking, and he's like, it's like dead silent again. He's like, ooh, bright with a flashlight. It's just like, everyone's just like, try not to laugh.
Who do you think's got the best ad-libs?
Man, I
Migos
used to
definitely
think
got a classic one.
Migos.
Oh, Amigos, yeah, they were
Yeah.
like
They had some
the
great
guys, weren't they?
ad-libs, man. Yeah, like, they all just sounded hard.
That's
There was
true,
one at the end
actually.
of, I think it was Motorsport, and right at the end, I think Takeoff goes like, "I do this shit for my grandma, or like for my nan or something," and then Offset just goes, "Grandma," like, in the background.
Yeah, they got iconic ones.
Yeah, for like actual
I
words,
feel I
they're
feel
kind of.
were
Hmm.
they the ones that really started like the skr because everyone
I
I
started
think
think
doing
so,
that.
so.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they're like the king of the new, like the modern ad-lib kind of
Yeah, you're
vibes.
right.
And then Yeet just kind of took it to another level. It's not even saying words, just like, yeah.
Mm.
Whole lot of go up.
Oh, did you hear H's diss track against Central C?
Yeah,
It
Oh, I
was
haven't
that
sick,
heard
was
you
a
that.
know.
good diss track. That was a
It was
good diss
actually
track.
sick. He released it the
And
same day Central C dropped his album as well, so he would have wrote that quick.
and then
Damn.
Central C just literally just disarmed it. He was just like, fair, was it like fair enough or something? He
Yeah,
commented
something
or
like that. Fair play or
Fair
fair
play.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
See,
he'll
that's
come
that's
back.
a UK beef compared to an American beef. It's like, fair play, mate. Well done.
it just wouldn't make sense for Central C to come back really to try
Yeah.
and
Not right
beat the
now.
H. Nah.
He's on a promo
Yeah.
run for his album. He's doing everything to promote it. So I don't think he's trying to
Yeah.
like write a diss track right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
But he's doing sick with the album though. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, he's done a really good job of it. Like even like going on all like the streams and
Yeah,
the lyrical lemonade like
all the
freestyles and all that kind of
interviews.
stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of it. I saw like a Spotify did like a day in the life thing with him as well. That was quite good to watch.
Oh, did
Oh
they? I
yeah,
didn't see that one.
I've seen that.
Yeah, just like him and his boys, like just doing their morning workouts and then breakfast and just kind of taking you through the day. It's quite a
I'm
normal
pretty
day.
sure, yeah. There was a show on Netflix maybe like last year. It was just about real estate in London. I'm pretty sure the house he was in was on that show, where they showed like a massive
Oh,
studio.
Was
It
it?
was for sale,
oh, sick, nice.
done by like a music producer or someone in the past. They properly
Mm,
built it out and everything.
yeah, it's kind of mad. Like the real estate stuff in London. It's like I didn't realize that so many bigger celebrities they just buy up real estate there. Like Anthony Joshua, he bought like a bunch of buildings like in central London. Um, just like stuff you don't really think about that they like little moves that people do in the back end that you don't really hear about.
Yeah, real estate's crazy in London as well.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah, it's the money maker.
What's it like in Thailand?
You can't own land as a foreigner, so it's
Oh,
kind of
really?
pointless to buy. Yeah, you'll
Oh,
never be able
shit.
to own.
No
You
way.
could buy a house, but you never own the land that the house is on, and
Yeah,
the lease for that is a maximum of 30 years.
right.
You could buy a condo in a building, but the building has to be still like 50% owned by Thais.
No way.
So like it's not really a place really to buy.
Yeah,
It's just
Mm.
not favorable as a
it's just more
foreigner.
to go there and rent, live there
But
for a
it's
while.
definitely a renter's market
Yeah,
because
it's so cheap.
there's too
Did you
many.
say it
There's
was
too
like
many.
Manchester prices though? I thought you said it was like that.
Yeah, but to be fair, you can get cheap places. You
Yeah,
can get like a studio for like £300 a month, but it's not going to
really.
be that nice,
Yeah.
or it might
Am
be
I
really
tripping?
small or a bit further out.
What would a
I
grand a
was
month get
looking.
you?
A grand a month can get you like a nice one bed, maybe a two bed a bit further out.
Right. Okay,
What
yeah.
website do
Not
you
as
normally
cheap as
look
I
at?
thought then.
Just
So
because
what was
I
that?
was looking, I was looking the other day at apartments, just like out of
Just out of curiosity.
curiosity.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I was making the conversions, and some places were like 200 quid, like 400 quid, for like a big, like a fairly decent place. Or maybe I'm not looking in the right area. Maybe it's more like on the outskirts
Could
of
be a bit
Bangkok.
further out. If you're
Yeah,
in the center, it'd be a little bit more, but still, like it's reasonable. I think
yeah,
you can find everything, every budget basically. If you want really cheap, you can find it. If you want
Right.
the absolute baller, then you can go and find that kind of place too.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
yeah, it's a renter's market in terms of like there's too many places and not enough people to rent them. So you kind of have your choice.
That's good. Well, not good. It's good for us, I guess, but not for
Compared
maybe
to
for
like
me.
London, there's not enough spaces, and
Yeah,
by the time you look at a place, it's probably taken.
Really.
yeah. It moves quick there. And there's a guy who I go to basketball with here. He's moving down to London, and I was like, "Oh, did you get a place?" He's like, "Yeah, I got a room, paying like 900 a month for it." I'm like, "Just a room?" He's
Yeah,
like,
man.
"Yeah, just a," and he's like not even like a crazy place. It's like, damn, that's so expensive. Just to be in London is expensive.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
It is the place for music though in the UK. It's like sessions are just
It's that
always
investment.
happening in London.
Yeah, yeah. Like sometimes I'll see. Do you guys follow N1 Wheezy? He's
I
like
don't think
Nah.
so.
a trap producer. He's like in that group, like eight, and then not as much, but like he's down in London. And
Right.
then like, just like hit guys like him or like Outlaw Beats, they'll always post like, "Oh, running sessions tonight. Who's free to cook?" I'm like, damn, that'd be good to, you got a free evening and you see someone post, you're like, damn, I wish I was in London right now.
You
Just
just
to,
pull up. Mm.
Yeah.
yeah, you
This
just,
is, I'm always thinking about this, like living in a big city where things are happening versus not.
Yeah,
yeah,
same.
And what's the opportunity cost? Is it
mm,
worth it? Is it not worth it?
It does
no,
depend
just
on
to
what
be
you
And
want
it's
honest.
to
like,
do.
I think there's pros and cons to both, really.
Yeah, we always talk about this, don't we? And
Mm.
I guess it does really depend on what you're trying to do. Like, if you want to be someone that's in sessions all the time, chasing placements, then of course it makes sense to be somewhere like London,
Hmm.
LA, one of the hot spots. But then for us, if our main goal is like YouTube and focusing on our own shit, it's not, is it necessary? not really.
But then even that, even if you want to get placements, don't get me wrong, of course it helps to be in the city.
Yeah.
But there's people who do it who are from random places, man. I always reference like
Oh,
Al
Carvey.
Hog,
Yeah.
I'll hug. Yeah.
Q Beats.
Yeah.
Like these guys absolutely smashed it from random parts of the world.
Yeah.
So it's not
Mm.
impossible. But sometimes, yeah, no, I was listening to a podcast today. You guys know Mark Ronson?
Yeah.
Oh, I
British
think
guy.
so.
Yeah, he grew up in New York and he was talking about like the New York scene and how he was just like being able to DJ 6, 7 nights a week because he was just there, just doing that thing, and you knew this person and that person. I'm like, damn, that would be so sick
Yeah.
to just have that. But I also think of that time period, it was different. Like 20 years ago, 90s and early 2000s, when the internet wasn't what it
Oh, yeah.
was, that really was like that. Like you kind of had to
Yeah.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be in the big city, but the internet's definitely made it less so. And even in the bigger cities, like don't get me wrong, you can have the connections and all that, but it's not like it was. I feel like,
Nah,
Yeah, for sure.
everything's changed. It's like I bet as a DJ you could get booked now from just having a solid set online. Like you could have
Yeah.
clips,
yeah,
like how you've posted those clips on TikTok in that abandoned spot.
yeah,
Like I bet if someone saw that and was fucking with it, you could get booked off that, which is something you could never do 20 years ago.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. You had to run into to the promoter or whatever.
I guess
Yeah.
it's just kind of freed up your choice of where you want to be, like what kind of lifestyle you want to be. Do you want to be in a quiet town? Okay, cool. Then you can still live there and like I say, kind of grow off the internet, get booked, and just travel to gigs. And then, or like, do you like the city life? Okay, I'll go in the city, and you can
I mean,
still kind of
don't get me
grind
wrong.
that out.
I think it would be sick to live in a New York or something.
Yeah, for sure.
But I look at the
Definitely.
prices and I'm like, come on now, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
What is this kind of price?
Yeah, things get a
yeah,
bit
If
ridiculous.
we think London is bad for 900 a room, New York is even worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a box you get for that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be in a box right now.
You get someone's
No,
wardrobe space for 900 a month.
Yeah, fuck that.
no.
Live
I
in
Oh
think
my
like
like
God.
Harry
in
Potter
LA, for
under the
example, a
stairs,
lot of
man.
people were just saying like they'll just group together. So if there's like a few producers that are trying to do something in LA, they'll just share a spot, and you're literally just renting out a room at that point, are you?
Yeah,
Which I'm sure a lot of people do that in like London and New York and everything as well. So I don't
yeah,
think I could like
That
do
that's
that
the
right
only
now.
way it becomes sustainable if you're in the beginning of your career. Like if you've got things
yeah,
going, you've already got a few, you got money coming in from like publishing or whatever. Then
Hmm.
it's different. But I'm just talking about when you're beginning,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
it's
start
hard,
from
yeah.
man.
zero.
Definitely.
Let's see
But
what we
yeah, when
got.
I was in LA as well, I was speaking to some engineers out there, and they were just telling me some stories of like just how crazy their schedule is. Like they'll just get hit up by rappers at like 3 in the morning, and he'll be asleep, but he'll wake up and answer it, and he'll just say, "Oh, I'm in a session right now. I'm busy," and he'll be like, "All right, cool, pull up at 5." So it's like even when you make up the excuse of being in a session, it's like they don't care, and
Yeah,
they just had like story after story about like I don't know, just crazy shit that's happened with artists like letting him down or the stuff that he's had to do, the lack of sleep, the
mm,
stress. I'm like, man, this is why I actually appreciate what I do because I can have a routine. I think having
yeah,
a routine is like, I don't, to me anyway, it feels important. Like if every day was like, oh, I'm gonna be at this spot till like 2 in the morning, then the next spot I've got to be up at 5 a.m. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
that. I think that would you'd crash at some point. I feel like your body can't take
Yeah,
that for too long.
yeah, for sure. I think if you really
yeah.
like,
I
it,
don't think there's any producer that has been doing that kind of schedule for 30, 40 years.
no, it's not healthy. I think it's like, yeah, if your head's made up that you want to do music and you're just willing to sacrifice basically everything, not everything, but you know what I mean, like big
Yeah,
sacrifice, then you're happy to do that grind for 2, 3, 4 years and just push through it. And then at a certain point, yeah, your body's just like, okay, enough's enough. Your brain's just kind of fried. Your body clock's all over the place, and then eventually it's like
Mm.
you need that routine.
But
yeah,
then
But,
also like usually when that happens, and you do get success and you do get the massive hit, naturally, like as humans, you get a bit comfortable. So it's
Mm,
like if you've
yeah.
let's say you've been doing it for like 10 years and you've got a bunch of hits underneath you,
Mm-hmm.
why? Your why, I guess your why kind of changes, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's true.
Yeah.
But then also like people will see you differently. So maybe you could just be like no one's telling Metro pull up at 5 and Metro's gonna pull up at 5. He'll pull up when he wants to pull up because he's Metro now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at a
If he
certain
says
point you
we're
could be
gonna
more
start
selective.
yeah, if he
Yeah.
says we're gonna start the session at 12 p.m., then they're starting the session at 12.
Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It's like just depends on like kind of like the level you're at, I guess.
got to go
Mm,
through the
But
bullshit at first, but then once you have that authority,
yeah.
yeah.
then the tables turn. Then
What do you guys feel like? Did you kind of start off in that mindset of wanting to be in studios, or like what's your priorities? Like, what have they how have they kind of changed over over the last 5 years or so?
man, I remember when I first left my job. I think like I wasn't even sure if I just wanted to be an artist. I think at first I wanted to do like an artist and producer route, and I released like one song as an artist. But I was like, I can't do everything. I didn't want to be like the jack of all trades. I just wanted to like hyper focus on one thing. So then it was producing because I just had a bit more passion for that side of it. But I think I always wanted to do the online route. At first, I really wanted to grow a massive type beat channel because I was just
Mm,
hearing like interviews of people who were just like uploading beats and making a killing. I was like, man, that sounds like the dream. You're just cooking up and you're making that much. So
Mm.
that's when I started getting obsessed with like the marketing side of it and everything. But then over time, the tutorial channel took off much quicker than the type beat channel. So I was like, okay, that changed everything. I didn't really expect that to happen. I knew that I wanted to like try everything, like try tutorials and try type beats, but I didn't know which one was gonna pop first. And then when I saw the tutorial channel grow, I was like, right, I need to double down on this. And then all of a sudden, you're making kits, you're doing courses, and it just completely changes the your path. So that was
mm,
the main thing for me. What about you?
Mm. Yeah, probably similar. Like started off seeing people doing making good money doing type beats and stuff, and then I was like, I'll just build up type beats, post some content. I was watching car beats at the time, and then but like my main priority was really just trying to get placements. So I was like sending beats out, trying to build up lists, send beats, and just constantly trying to send beats. I was like, that was like the main thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, similar to you, like I over time just like naturally just through posting like YouTube videos all the time. Um, that stuff just kind of slowly took over, and then yeah, like I say, it almost just comes in from the side. Like I didn't anticipate that people would want kits and people would want like more producer stuff. I just assumed that it'd be like a good thing on the side. Um, and then yeah, kind of over time it takes over, doesn't it? And then you just find yourself that that's the thing you do. Like
Yeah.
fast forward a couple of years, and then yeah, you like zoom out a little bit, and you're like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm more of like a producer guy instead of um, producer like influencer. But that's like the lane we're in
Yeah.
now. But yeah, how about you, Ocean?
in the
You've had a
beginning,
few changes.
Yeah.
to be honest, I think at the beginning I started YouTube more as a way to just document what I was doing. I didn't know it
Mm-hmm.
would be turning into tutorials and a full-on content creator because it wasn't really that back in
Yeah.
the day. YouTube was a little bit different. I was looking at people's vlog series and just thinking, yeah, I'm just going to do the same because I did want to have placements in the beginning. I just didn't know how that worked. I didn't
Yeah.
really understand it. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, in the meantime, let me just document, let me just film videos because there's something to it. When I started, I saw people doing it and getting like good views. So I thought, yeah, let me just jump in. Fast forward a few laters, then 3 years later, and then yeah, I'm dropping kits and stuff. But it wasn't something I thought that would happen.
Yeah.
I didn't really actually see like where it would take me.
Yeah. For sure.
But the goal was always to be like an actual producer. Like, not saying that we're not actual producers, but I mean, I
More
always
the
wanted to work with
traditional route.
artists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's always that itch, and like we've all got like as producers that do like YouTube stuff and help producers. It's like there's always that itch to just actually want to be in the studio and work with
Yeah.
artists. But I
Hmm.
would say my priorities changed, like my mindset with the whole like being a producer for artists. That kind of changed after 2023 when we did that whole year. Just because I was like, I'd really enjoyed it in the beginning, but towards the end, and you know, like after the amount of sessions that we were kind of running, and like not really getting a whole lot back from it, it just kind of not changed my perspective, like my mindset fully, because I still obviously sessions are really good fun, and that's like the creative part. But it made me just think like, okay, I don't want to be in the studio grind. I love doing studio sessions, but I don't want that to be like the thing that's going to dictate the financial side of it. I just want to do it because it's fun, and not do it, not have to do it every day and grind out, like jumping session to session to try and get as many like, you know, potential releases as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I hear that.
at that point, it just became stressful. I'm like, why am I stressing? Like, this is music. I'm trying to, you know, want to do music.
Yeah.
Been wanting to do this, you know, as a career. But this is just causing, almost just making it seem like work. So,
I hear that. I
yeah,
definitely hear that. I
it's
do
gonna take,
like the model of sending samples out and getting placements that way
yeah, for
as like a
sure.
placement producer. I think, yeah,
I think even
I
that
think that's a
grind's
game
become a lot
changer.
harder now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
definitely.
There's so
100%
many
compared to
people
like a
doing it.
couple of years ago.
Hmm.
And because like when so many people do it, naturally you get a lot of bullshit in there as well. Like you'll get producers who will just like steal loops and send them. They'll like
Yeah,
sample a fucking like old Michael Jackson track and then send that. They'll just chop it up and send it. There's just so much like bullshit that goes on, and then it
yeah,
puts producers off working with new people. Like I'm sure you guys do the same, but sometimes you'll go to your loop email and you'll just go to the names that you know and like the people that you
hmm,
trust because there's
Especially
so
now.
many emails in there. Yeah, and I
Like
know a lot of other people do that.
I don't really look at loops anymore, yeah. But because, like you said, it's so common, everyone is not producers are numb to it now. It's not back in the day where it was a novelty when someone sent me loops, let's open them up. Now
Yeah.
yeah,
you go into your email flooded with loops. It's like,
Hmm.
what are we gonna do here?
You don't
yeah,
know where they've come from. It's like you don't want there to be any like
But
friction points.
this is where it
mm,
comes back to like music has always just been about relationships. It's always been a relationship game.
Yeah.
Now the relationship game is just now taken online.
Hmm.
yeah, for sure. And I'd
Yeah.
say like with the whole loop thing as well, it's almost similar to like how the kit thing has trickled down as well. Like it has to be in the beginning, it was like you can drop drum kits, and you kind of drop what you wanted, and it would do well. And you know, looking back at the kits that we used to drop, they're not as good quality as we would obviously do now. And then
Hmm.
like over time, we've just learned from each kit, and the quality's gone up and up and up. And the same for like these loop makers, like you said, Jay, I'll only open up certain emails from certain producers. I just know those loops are going to be good and they're unique and it's the sound I'm looking for. And then you've got like 90% of the other loops are all just the same, you know, like standard loops or like just, you know, just bullshit loops. So
Yeah.
now it's got to a point where if you're a sample maker, you have to make them your own, you know, just stand out. Try not to just formulaically make these loops that everyone's using because no one's going to use them apart from like, you know, some smaller producers that
Then
haven't
even
really
so,
come up
like
series yet.
even that's subjective. You can make the most unique loops
Mm.
and have your own style, but you can also follow a formula and just make pain loops, make rage loops or whatever, those hyper poppy ones. Because people are also looking for that too. You just got to send it to the right person
But
at the
yeah,
right
it's just
time.
knowing what placements you want, isn't it? It's like who do I want to work with? Okay, I need to make this kind of style, but I can still add my own twist to it. You know, that's going to help you stand out a little bit. It's still within that bracket, but it's like kind of just catches someone's ear a little bit different than just like a standard pain loop. You know, piano, vocals. I'd throw in a different instrument or throw in just something else. You know, to catch people to grab more people's attention.
Yeah. I guess either way, it goes back to what you just said, Ocean, about relationships. It's like if you can connect with someone on a personal level, even if it's just a quick chat in the DMs or something, they're way more likely, like they're way more likely to work with you compared to
Mm.
just like getting
Mm.
random emails. Like, because you'll get like so many emails sometimes, and sometimes you're like, where's this even like come from? Because it won't even be my loop email. It'll be like my personal like business email. I'm like, why
Yeah,
am I getting loops here? I don't even share this email with anyone. But people will just like scout through YouTube or go anywhere to find like any email and just like dump loops in your inbox. But if you like connect with someone on a personal level or just like at least just have a chat in the DMs, then and give them the heads up that you can send some stuff, or maybe just ask them, just say, is it cool if I send some loops your way? Then when they see your name in the inbox, they'll be like, oh yeah, spoke to him on Instagram, let me check out his stuff.
But even then, that's like, like how we was just saying, loops is kind of saturated.
Yeah.
Now the DM thing is kind of saturated. It's not like it was before, you
Yeah.
know? Back in the day, like you could, I'm not going to say you would 100% reach someone because it's never been like that. But people were more receptive where it's like, because everyone gets the same messages and stuff like that, people are now numb to it. It's not a novelty to receive, to send someone your loops. It's just,
Yeah, for sure.
if someone responds, amazing.
Yeah.
But it's less likely these days.
Or maybe it's more about building your own brand then, because if you DM someone and you have some sort of value to provide, like I think if we DM someone now, they might look at our page and be like, okay, he's serious about his craft, he's built up an audience, let me reply to this guy, because we do it as well. Like if you get a DM from someone, the first thing you do is click on their profile, and if I see like it sounds bad, but if I see like you've got placements, you've been working and everything, then of course I'm way more likely going to speak to you compared to someone who's got like 2 posts and 20 followers, because it's just saying that you're not really putting anything out there. You're not giving yourself a chance. So why am I going to give you a chance? You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. But I think, I think you're right. It just comes over time, doesn't it? It's like, and it just always trickles down to personal branding and relationships, like you both said. Just that's the top of the ladder. If you got respect for yourself, your own content, and you put time into your own portfolio and your branding, even like I say, even if you haven't got crazy placements, but you put time into the content and it's the music's good.
I just want to see that you're working, that you're serious, basically.
Exactly, that you're taking yourself seriously. You can. It's obvious, isn't it? If someone's just got pictures of them fishing and then a picture of them in a nightclub, it's clearly they're not just they're just doing it as a little hobby on the side, and then you see someone else working.
You know what? Let me ask you this, because you know how things go in a cycle. We've kind of gone through this wave of like the internet was new, DMing people was new, sending nudes was new, so it comes to a point of oversaturation, right? And then the effectiveness of it kind of dies down. Do you think this is where the tables turn, where it goes back to, all right, being in person is actually way better? Because I see this in other fields, like, you know how there's been a rise in like run clubs and brands doing pop-ups instead of it just being online and being e-commerce. Maybe, I don't know, it's just a random thought that I just had, like maybe the tables will turn where it's like, actually, the internet stuff is cool, DMing in that, but now it's going to get back to the point where like, could there be hubs again? Like, let's say New York becomes a super hub again, or London becomes a super hub, and everyone's there. And if you want to be in it, you have to be there. Do you think that could actually ever pop up again? Yeah,
it could be. Could be like it could come back round, but obviously the internet's still there, so it could be like supplemented by the internet. But the most powerful way is back to being in person and just being like actual face-to-face connection.
Well, I think even through the sending loop wave, the like DM wave, I think even through those periods, the face-to-face connections have been way more powerful.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Through every phase, like the personal connections have been more powerful. But I guess maybe it could go back to that where it's like that's like the main way now. I don't know.
Maybe
people missing that personal touch again. Because even when I was like in LA recently, just the few people that I met there, like I feel like those personal connections are just so much stronger than anything else. And even just like, for example, I met up with La Russell's engineer. We just had like one session. He just invited us to his Airbnb, so we were just cooking up there. And I feel like because I'm like pretty chilled, I'm not like, oh, I don't think I'm beggy. Like, like some producers could like be in a room and be almost a bit beggy, or in the DMs like, let's collab, bro, let's collab. I think if you're just natural and you can just build a relationship with someone, like because I just spent a bit of time with this guy, the first thing he said to me, or not the first thing, but when I was leaving, he was like, yo, I really like your production style, like send me some beats, I'm gonna play some to La Russell. So even that, I'm like, that's sick, because you'd never have that in the DM. Like you could never just DM someone and say, oh, show La Russell my beats please, and they'll just play them. Like it comes
Yeah.
from just being human and just having like an actual connection with someone or just vibing with someone.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you're like really nice to one person, they almost want to be nice back to you. You know, if you do
Yeah.
something for someone, it's like when there's an opportunity like that. Like let's say there's an engineer and an artist, their artist needs some beats. If you've been like super nice to their engineer, maybe you've sent them packs, maybe you've helped them out with some other shit. They might think of you as the first person when their artist is saying, oh, I need some beats. They might be like, yo, let me hit up Jay because he's actually cool and he hooks me up. That's just like a natural human thing, isn't it? If someone's like nice to you, you want to do something nice back to them.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's like just that law of attraction, isn't it? And I think it's just going in without an agenda. Like when you went to that session, you were just there to have a good time,
just
be
to
creative.
vibe.
You weren't there thinking, right, I need to get an email on before we get out of here. I need to get his number.
Exactly, yeah.
You were just there to show up, have a chat, meet new people,
Yeah.
and just be more natural. And then
Whereas
he
if
asked
you were
you,
asked in that session, if you were like, oh, by the way, like when you're next with LaRussell, could you play my beats? You'd be like, fuck this guy.
yeah.
I
What was you gonna say,
low-key like
Ocean?
the studio sessions where we don't even cook up, where we just talk
Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah, same.
and then get nothing done for a couple hours.
They're needed sometimes, though.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had them so many times, man.
Yeah, Lifestyle was saying, I think you were telling us before, but you were saying when you had a session, it was like 4 hours long, but you didn't even make a beat.
Bro, we didn't even open our laptops. I don't even think I took my laptop out my bag. We just sat. I sat down on the
That's
couch,
funny.
he sat down on the chair, and we just talked.
That's jokes.
Yeah, they're good. They are good because like you're talking with people who actually understand what you're going through and what they're going through. It's
Yeah.
good to like catch up with friends and they ask you about work and stuff, but you can never really kind of get deep into it because they have no idea what you're talking about. So it's nice to have a session where you're not even making any music. You're just kind of brainstorming what you're doing and like, next moves and stuff like that.
hmm
Or just chatting shit. It's normally the way it goes.
Yeah. But you need those
Yeah.
chatting shit moments to just have a personal connection with someone. It can't
Yeah,
all just
definitely.
be about music and business.
Yeah, we're not robots at the end of the day. Yeah.
You guys just completely cut out for me.
Oh, we were just chatting shit about you.
We were just chatting shit about you know. Yeah.
Nah, we were
Yeah.
just saying, we were just carrying on from what we were saying about just having those sessions where you're just talking shit. Because that's like, you can't just always talk about business and music. Like, you have to talk shit to develop more of a personal connection with someone.
Yeah, especially as a producer, sometimes you are just. I can't remember what producer I heard say this, but you're low key a therapist sometimes to the artist,
Yeah.
especially the artists
Yeah.
who are true artists and come to the studio to express themselves, not just make a song. And for them
That's
to
true.
like get to that point, they got to be a bit comfortable in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Low key,
100%.
yeah. Honestly, sometimes doing sessions felt like a first date.
Yeah, literally.
I know what you mean.
Literally, man. Didn't really feel like you were in like a professional space. It was more like, okay, kind of do I vibe with this person? You know,
Yeah,
like,
you have
what
to
they're
you have to
into.
figure out the energy and then kind of match it. Really have to be honestly, you have to just be I don't want to say like a people person, but you have to
Conversation
be
You
skills.
gotta,
you,
to
you have
understand
to you have to
psychology a bit.
Mm.
yeah, and you got to be able to read people, you got to be able to read the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
actually man, it's a tough job in the sense that yeah, you have to be good musically, but it's just so much more than that.
Yeah, you have to be good at just being reading humans and just knowing what the vibe of the room is and what kind of energy you need to bring, like how talkative you kind of need to be. If they're not on that kind of vibe, then you kind of have to pull back a little bit and yeah, just reading it.
And you also don't vibe with everyone sometimes. Sometimes you vibe with certain artists more.
Yeah, that's the funny
Mhm.
thing, isn't it? There's like certain people that, for whatever reason, you just can't develop a connection with. It's like something,
Yeah.
the energy's off, and I don't know why. It's not like he's a dick. It's just we can't connect.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've definitely had a few of those.
yeah,
Yeah, same. I think everyone does, but then the person you don't connect with will have like a sick connection with someone else. It's like for some reason your energies just don't line up. It's one of those things. It's like hard to explain sometimes. But
yeah,
then on the
Not for
flip
real.
side, sometimes you'll like have the first session straight away, you hit it off and you're talking and everything's cool, and it's like, yeah, this session is just gonna run smoothly now.
Hmm. Definitely.
Maybe for the listeners, we should go through like some studio etiquette, like do's and don'ts.
I would
What would you guys
say,
say?
I th- I think just being yourself. Like
It's
I think,
it's very nuanced as well.
yeah, it is.
Mm.
I think being yourself, like it's quite important though, because a lot of people will meet up with artists and think, all right, this artist, especially with rappers, they might try and like put up a barrier with rappers and be like, oh, I've got to act tough because this
Act a
guy's
certain way.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like that. Because a lot
Yeah.
of producers are quite like nerdy as well, but that's fine to be
Yeah.
nerdy. It's like you don't have to act
Mm.
tough because you're around a rapper. It's like they'd respect you more if you just yourself. They might find it funny. They
Yeah.
might vibe you. You know, like some rappers could be nerdy as well. Like sometimes you think you're meeting someone who's this tough guy, but deep down they watch anime and they game and shit. It's like
Yeah.
think about like
Definitely.
Jamie, for example. Like Jamie is like really into like games and anime and shit. And he's
Yeah.
almost like my boy used to call him a ghetto geek because my boy was like quite similar to that. And it's like you
Yeah.
just never know. But
Yeah.
if you put up a front, then people will clock that straight away.
True. I'd say be open-minded. Try not to judge too much. Try to drop the ego. Even if the
Mm.
other person has a huge ego, just try to drop it. Leave it at the door. Just come
Yeah.
with an open mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, then, like, what would you say? Because there is somewhat of like a order of things, you know, like from in studio sessions. A lot of like new producers in a session, they don't know like what to kind of expect or like what the structure of the session would be. Somewhat, I know it's kind of it is different for every session, but what would you say is like a normal like I guess run of
Routine.
events, like from them turning up, what the conversation starts off like, how it kind of transitions and into like the actual music making stuff. Like, what would you kind of say that you've like experienced?
I'll let you guys go first. I know you two have done a lot more sessions than me, to be honest.
But some
Last-
people like to just. I've had it in many ways, yeah, where some rappers will just be like, yeah, just pull up beats, go through them, just listen until they find one. Some people want to be a bit more involved and they want to just create something on the spot. And then you just have to create on the spot. Mm. But again, I think it's nuanced because some people do want to just come and fill you out first and have a chat and kind of get to know you, get to understand that. So some artists will come and ask like, "Oh, what are you good at? What kind of beats do you like to make?" And kind of vibe off you. Whereas like some kind of know exactly what they want. Oh, I heard this earlier. Can we try this? Can you try flip this sample? Or I heard this guy do this. I want to try something similar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really been like this is how I start. Kind of just go with the flow a little bit, and again, just open to whatever, innit?
Yeah, I think people
Yeah.
react to things differently, don't they? I always think about it and I compare it to like my last job. So I was just like an account manager at my last job. So essentially that just meant looking after a client base. And my client base were like called key accounts, which were like the high end clients. So I had like Harley Davidson and brands like that. And I had to like try and develop a connection with like each director there. But then what I found was that everyone has a different behavior type, or everyone's got different like characteristics. So some people you'd call and they just can't be bothered talking. It's just like, just get to it. They're still
Yeah.
not nice, but it's like, let's just get to it. Like,
Yeah.
what do we need today? Because I've got meetings to get to.
Yeah.
Some other people really talkative and they're like, how's your day? Yeah, what have you been up to? Like a lot of my clients were American as well, so they're asking me about stuff, and you'd have like a full-on conversation, and then you'd get to it. And then for other people, it was like kind of hard to figure out. You didn't know if they were trying to get to it, and then it made it a bit trickier because you didn't really know where to take it. But it's the same with sessions, because sometimes you'll meet someone for the first time, and you don't know if there's someone who's just like stuck for time and they're just trying to get to recording straight away, or if there's someone who's a bit more relaxed and it's like, yo, what's good? You just have a conversation and then you get to music. It's a similar thing, isn't it? So there's
Yeah,
no like
definitely.
set structure, but usually I like to just have a chat first and just figure out what type of person they are. Like, just have a normal conversation, just be human for a bit and see where it goes, and then start talking about music after that, see what kind of vibe they're on, and then go from there.
I'd add one thing as well. I think it depends on the session. So, for example, if they come into your space, or if you're going to their space, or if someone invited you and it's not your session, but you're just going along with it. I think
that's true.
all of these kind of things, it all plays a different part. Because I know, for example, like when I was invited to someone else's session, or like an artist told me to pull up and I'm there just to play beats, then I don't know, it's not really my space to be kind of like trying to control the situation.
Yeah.
Or not even controlling, but you know what I'm trying to say, kind of guide it or anything. I'm there in their space.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in my space and you come to my studio, sometimes there can be an expectation of, okay, I need to guide it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good point. It's like you kind of change your behavior depending on the location. I guess like if people do come to your space, and there is like some people like say they don't really know what they want to do, or like there's people where they know exactly what they want. I think just like the set thing is just like normal greeting, just like, yo, what's good, man? Like, how you been? Small talk, like what's your day been like? Just little stuff like that. And then I always find myself asking like, oh, like, what vibe have you been on recently? That seems to like open up the conversation to just like either what they. Sometimes they won't even answer it musically, but they'll normally be like, oh yeah, I'm making like these kind of vibes, and they'll airdrop you a song like of what they've been making. You'll listen to like some of their stuff, and then like you'll just try, and that kind of dictates what you do next. Or like, yeah, that tends to be like a good question that I've noticed the pattern from, especially from 2023. Just like what vibe you want. It's not even like a real specific question. It's like, it's what you've been on recently, and then they normally just open up after that.
Yeah, and everyone opens up differently. Some people will be like, bro, you know, like my girl, bro, she's just been on me. Just been on, man. And he starts going off talking about his girl.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, yeah, go on.
I was going to say J1 was probably the funniest from the sessions, but he told us some stories about just when he was touring and like just the shit that they get up to like behind closed doors. And, like, that's just a whole different lifestyle. Proper like artist lifestyle, like rapper lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you get other people that are like super quiet. You're like, oh, what you been on recently? They're like, not much, you know. And that's kind of all you
just
get.
The one-word answers. That's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the worst. You gotta really keep kind of like, not grill them with questions, but just like be like, oh yeah, like what kind of music you've been making?
Yeah.
Like what's your
Just ask
process
a lot of
like?
open-ended questions instead of just like yes or no answers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes like they're not even like I've seen as well. Like sometimes they maybe won't open up to me, but they'll open up to Ez, my manager. At the time. They would open up way more to him, for example, or they'll open up to their boys in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can connect with one of their boys instead of directly the artist. Like it's all just depends.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I think as Ez was like arranging a lot of the sessions, they just naturally already made that connection. So when they turn up to the sessions, they're like more open with him, and then it's more business for us guys. We're just there like running through beats and recording and stuff. But yeah,
I think one other thing is just be respectful of people's rooms as well, man. It's nothing worse than someone like pulling up and making a mess. Pulling up and opening up like a fucking sardine sandwich, like spilling drinks on the desk.
Yeah, that's the worst, man.
You guys had that a few times, didn't you? Just people like spilling drinks.
I remember one guy, he bought barbecue chicken. This guy was so fucking messy, man. He spilled, I don't know how, but he put barbecue all over my curtains.
Oh my god, what?
How does that even happen?
And
barbecue sauce on the curtains?
Yeah, like he must have dropped his chicken or something in the back.
Oh,
he was very messy. And he took something, either he took an edible or a mushroom, and he just passed out for like a good hour just in the back.
Fuck's sake. That's insane.
That's how I can't just brew people to the house, man.
Yeah, home studios.
People
you
are
gotta know the
disrespectful in
person.
the home, then it's like, nah, you crossed the line.
Yeah, you get one chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's grim, man. It's not nice as well. Like if you crash, like obviously we crash at the studio sometimes, and there was one session where there's a load of guys and they were drinking, but they brought like bags of ice, and there's no freezer, so they were just leaving the ice on the floor and it was melting, and then muddy shoes on, not muddy shoes, but like dirty shoes
Oh, what
on
a mess
underneath.
that was, man.
I think I
And
remember
the
you
floor
telling me
was
this.
just
You had to sleep on it as well.
and we had to
And it was
mop the
just
floor.
it was smoky and stinky as well.
Smoking,
I wasn't
drinking,
even like,
eating.
I wasn't even aware because I was really concentrated on making a beat. But it's like every time I turned around, I kept on hearing like new voices, and I'd turn around and a new person would be there. Turn around, and a new guy's pulled up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that session was a bit messy.
it was a good vibe, but it was just messy,
Yeah,
sticky,
at least like we it was productive. Nothing's worse where it's messy and you didn't get nothing done.
and nothing's happening.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, we must have recorded about 3 songs in that session, which was good. And yeah, it was just a late one. Left late, and then we had to mop all the floor and clean up and just get everything back to normal. And then yeah, it was just a bit of a
And go
mess.
again.
And then go again. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it gets that way sometimes. I think the worst ones are when like it's like say it's messy, or I think just in general it's just not fun when nothing gets done. Like it's just super unproductive. You've kind of blocked out a good amount of time to invest, with someone, and then yeah, they just kind of don't do anything. Just kind of nothing gets recorded, no ideas get put down, and like not even a relationship gets built. They just there's nothing that comes out of it. Like there's no second
we've had a
session.
couple of those.
That was one thing that put me off early on, and not even like with big artists who'd just be like trying to work with local artists, and like just early on, like this was like within like the first year of like leaving my job, I had a session with someone, and we were there like all day. I didn't actually make anything. He just wanted me to like play through some beats, so I was going through loads, and then he finally like picked one, and it took like 5 hours just to get like one song down, and after that, it's like he still wasn't happy with it, so we had to have a second session to re-record shit. And then I needed to like mix it and everything. And by the time like everything was done, it was just like not even worth it, because you can only charge someone so much for like the actual session and the beat when I'm like nobody at that point. So I was just like, man, I've spent like 2 days more than that because I've got to mix it at home and everything. And the song hasn't even come out. I'm like, what's the point? I've just wasted like 3 days of my life.
And you just reminded me of something as well. Just like sometimes sitting there and you have the same 8-bar on loop for hours. Just the same 8-bar, just like looping. And there'd be times where we're just sitting there just like, because the guy's got to write in it.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't mind it, but looking back, sometimes it's like, wow, we really sat there for like 8-bar loop for 4 hours, and we were just sitting there, just like waiting for him to write.
Yeah, and it's loud. Sometimes they like it loud as well, and we're just sat there like super loud music just on repeat for so long. And sometimes they're not even writing.
Sometimes they were. To be honest, I didn't mind it, but looking back, I can understand why people would not enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't imagine someone who's not musical, like not into music production, sitting there and listening to the same 8-bar loop for that long.
Oh yeah,
must do their head in.
Yeah, if like you're one of those boys.
Kira gets fed up just being upstairs listening to my 8 bars on repeat, and that's not even for 4 hours.
No, for me, the thing that used to, I'd say, like kind of annoy me the most was either really late sessions, because I'm not really like a late person, and most of the industry is, or people being unprofessional and super late.
Yeah, like super late.
Yeah.
I think an hour is like you expect at least within an hour you expect them to be late.
An hour's within an hour, but like 3 to 4, man.
That
was annoying. That was not fun.
And then they just act. Sometimes they don't even apologize. They come in and like, "Yeah, it's good, bro." It's like I'm sat here doing nothing for 3 hours waiting for it to come through. So.
And it's like I have to try my hardest. Remember, I was saying you got to drop the ego. I'm trying my hardest to just like still be positive in that moment.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, like I can't even hide the fact that I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah.
Like in your head, you're just done at that point. It's like,
it's like I don't want to be here anymore. I low-key just want to go home.
Yeah, you're not going to make your best work in that moment.
No.
But then sometimes you do. That's the thing. Like, sometimes you stick it out and you do it, and it's like, damn, like I don't know if I want to say the names, but it was a duo.
Oh my god, yeah.
And they came late and they came with the worst energy, but we actually made a banger.
We made 2 really good songs. Was it one song?
The first one was kind of dead, but the second one, to this day, I think the beat, we absolutely
It was
smashed that
so
beat.
good. Yeah,
You have
the
to
That
tell
beat
churchy
was,
one, like the
tell me
I
after
don't
churchy
the
know
one.
recording.
I don't even know how we got to that beat, but we made it on the spot, and I'm just like, nah, this one is insane.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I remember we started off with like, well, we'll play it after we stop recording. I'll share my
Yeah,
screen or
we
something.
could probably wrap up
But
in a second anyway. We have been recording a
yeah,
while.
but yeah, they
But we
turn up
was waiting
late.
for a long time for that one.
Yeah, it took a while to write and get it fully recorded because they
But
took
even for them to just turn up,
Mm,
yeah, yeah. The session was due at like because we didn't. A lot of our sessions weren't scheduled in late. None of them were really, and they turned up at a good. I think the session was probably like 3, and they turned up at like 7 or something crazy, and then it went on through to like 2, 3 in the morning. Maybe even later. Didn't you leave? And then I think you left, and I was obviously I was crashing there, and they wanted to wrap up like a last bit or something. I can't remember, but it was just so late, man. It was such a late
yeah.
session.
And they had really bad energy, man. Like he wasn't even like one of them was okay. He came in a bit later, but the first guy was just not like I don't know. He
Yeah,
seemed like he didn't want to be there at all.
right.
yeah.
So we
It
was
felt like
having
they
to
were
try
just
and
getting a
manage
rep
that
in.
as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the song was fucking really good. It was actually a vibe. I remember that one. I'm really annoyed I didn't drop because I was right in their lane, and it wasn't like what their standard stuff that they were doing. It was in that
Yeah.
kind of in the lane, but it was a nice, fresh, like song for them as well. So shame it nothing really happened with that one. But shit happens, I suppose.
I think for people listening as well, I think obviously hearing like studio horror stories, don't let that put you off. I think you
No,
should go to sessions as well, especially like when you're trying to get your name out there and you're on the come up,
definitely.
because a
Mm.
lot of positive stuff can happen from sessions. Like I've never been to a session, especially with like producers, where I've like regretted it, where I've been like, I wish I never left the
Yeah.
house for this, like because you just
Producers are
never
usually
know.
cooler as well, from my
Yeah,
Mm.
experience.
definitely. You just never know where
And it
that
only takes
relationship's gonna
one, man.
go.
That's what I'm saying. Like you just don't know what the outcome is gonna be. You
Hmm.
might just make a hit and it changes everything. That's why like
Mm.
you just gotta keep in there.
Yeah, or you might
Because
have a
once
session.
you do make that one hit that changes everything,
Hmm.
all those hard nights, all those lateness, like you're just not even gonna give a shit. You got
Becomes
what you
worth it.
yeah,
Yeah,
everything kind of goes away.
Yeah.
yeah. You've got to be like a bit of a goldfish as well. Just take it one session at a time. Don't let your other sessions dictate how you're gonna behave in the next session. So yeah, like if you had a really shit session and then
Mm.
you got another one for like the next day or like next week or something, don't be like, oh, I'm gonna cancel it because this session was shit. It's like that could be the best session you've ever had, or like say you could get a really good song out of it, and that could be the one. So
Yeah.
just gotta kind of have a bit of a forgetful mindset. But do you know what? Just to wrap that, I was gonna say like that mindset it's kind of fucked up because that's a mindset you kind of really need to have, like just go session to session. But I heard this some NBA players talking about this, and they had the same mindset of just grind modes, get your head down one day at a time. And then it's all these retired NBA players, recently retired NBA players, and they were like, "Bro, do you like actually remember a lot of your career?" And they're like, "No, like I can't remember barely anything because it's such a you have that forgetful mindset because you
Yeah.
have to in order to keep your confidence at a certain level and perform." And it's similar for like musicians and creators. Like you just go day to day, like you kind of forget when you did sessions and what sessions you've done, and
It
until
just
someone
goes so
brings it up
fast
and
as well.
yeah, you
Mm.
kind of blink and then it's like fuck, 5 years have
Yeah.
passed and I don't even know what I've I can't remember what I've been doing.
I literally
It's
can't
kind of
believe it's been
crazy.
like 5 years since I left my job.
Yeah,
Mm.
I find it
insane,
crazy.
man.
In fact, so February 2020 was when I started my YouTube channel. I'd have to check the exact date. It might have been like the 14th or something. So it has been like 5 years since I started the channel. And
Yeah.
me looking
That's
back, I'm
a
like, what the fuck?
What's
good
happened
good
Seems
time to
since
crazy.
then?
celebrate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's wild.
it's mad, man.
But yeah, man,
Yeah,
let's wrap up there. I think that's a good note
yeah.
to finish on. So appreciate you
Mhm.
guys, man. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.